Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel and I can now officially say I'm an Airbus A330 pilot. I've just passed the type rating skill test for the A330 and A350 aircraft, and so I am now type rated. Now, I do apologize straight away for not giving too many updates over the type rating. I believe it was only one or two, but we did decide it was the best thing just to let the training be training and focus on that, and then only give a summary at the end of it. So how did I like the type rating? How did the type rating go? Well, first of all, it was an amazing experience. Now, as you guys saw on the channel, I had a little bit of Airbus experience before I started on the type rating, so I had a little bit of an advantage there in terms that I had a bit of knowledge. Then again though, I was absolutely aware that that knowledge was only, let's call it, half knowledge from flight simulation, which can obviously not be translated directly into real life. However, it did do its fair share in bringing me closer to the airplane, and it did do its perfect support in getting me to learn the airplane quicker. Now, it was an absolute blast to go through the theory there, and most of the stuff I somewhat had heard before, a lot of the finer details I had to learn then, and ultimately, after about 1 month into the rating, we did the theory test, and after that started the simulator sessions. Now, in terms of the simulator sessions, we first started with the normal procedures with about 8 sessions, then went to the abnormals for another 8, and then another couple sessions for basically line-oriented flight training and exercising failures on the go, including a couple of handling exercises and so on. So that was quite a cool experience, and with everything coming together, after about 2 months of simulator training, I had my skill check on the A330, and now I am fully type rated. So how are things gonna go along? Well, the type rating is a zero flight time training. That means that despite having mastered the simulator, I didn't do any flights on the real aircraft yet. So that is what's going to come next. And flying the real airplane is going to be straight away with passengers. Now, don't worry if you're afraid of flying and if you're thinking, well, that pilot's never flown an airplane. No, it's not like that. So, after you do the type rating skill check, in which you have to prove that you are competent flying the airplane, you get another simulator session, which is called the Zero Flight Time Training Session. And in that Zero Flight Time Training session, you basically get a lot of focus on manual handling and stuff like that, and that is what I'm gonna have the day after I'm recording this video. So when that session is done, we are going to go straight into the airplane, and first of all I will do a couple of sectors as additional crew member, meaning that I will sit on the jump seat and observe the crew flying the airplane, and obviously try to gather as much knowledge as possible throughout those flights, like oceanic procedures, how do they work, and how does all the knowledge you've gained in the type rating then transfer into operating a real airplane. Now, after a few sectors as additional crew member, you are then assigned to fly with a line training captain, and you will also have a safety pilot in form of an ordinary line captain also in the cockpit with you. And that is how you do what we call the line flying under supervision, or LFUS in short. Now, line flying under supervision is going to take another 2 or 3 months to complete, and only thereafter I will be fully checked out and will be flying with, let's call it, normal line captains on the line operation. Now, the LFUS itself, however, is already taking place during normal line operations, and that is basically, let's call it, the final part of training before you are fully released to the line. So, to summarize, after you pass the type rating skill test, you are qualified and competent to fly the airplane. You get the entrance in your pilot's license. Then you do another simulator session where they just about try to iron out the last couple of itches you may have in terms of manual handling or so. And after that you go on a couple of sectors as additional crew member, just sitting there and watching. And then you do line training, or LFUS, which is flying with a specially qualified training captain who is going to, let's call it, bring you up to line standard. which is still a little bit above what we normally do in the type rating, which is very much focused on handling exercises, not only handling of practical aircraft control, but also handling of different malfunctions and so on. So that is basically my current point in time in the type rating, or rather after the type rating and prior to the line flying under supervision. I do hope you found this little update interesting. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to it, and you can be sure that I'll keep you updated as far as my new company policy does allow. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, do let me know in the comments below, and do leave a like, as it does really help out the channel. If you're up for more, then be sure to subscribe, and finally I see you all again on the next one. Thank you.